These maquettes were used during the production of Tim Burton's most recent film, Alice in Wonderland. The White Rabbit, Cheshire Cat and March Hare were entirely computer animated, and the maquettes gave the actors participating in the live-action sequences a physical impression of the digital characters to be incorporated at a later stage of the production process. The beauty and appeal of these figures attest to the combination of creativity and attention to detail underpinning Burton's portrayal of Wonderland as the much darker world of Underland. The costumes on display here were produced for Alice in Wonderland by Academy Award-winning designer Colleen Atwood, who has worked on many of Burton's films, including Edward Scissorhands, Mars Attacks and Sweeney Todd. Although Atwood often works from Burton's preliminary drawings, she is free to create costumes that expand on Burton's ideas while remaining faithful to the spirit of the character. She has commented that working with Burton is a pleasure because he recognises his colleagues as fellow artists and gets very excited and enthusiastic when they show him what they have. When creating the costumes for Alice in Wonderland, Atwood had to meet the challenge of 3D animation technology. A number of the Alice costumes were computer animated from the beginning. However, others were created physically in the initial design stage, so that Burton and the animation team were better able to understand and reproduce qualities like depth and texture, and the actors could get a better feel for the character they were playing. In designing the Mad Hatter's costume, Atwood consulted the illustrations drawn by John Tenniel from the original publication of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, and did detailed research on hat makers in the Victorian era. The final costume relies on an intricacy of design that makes it both visually rich and quirkily distinctive. The Mad Hatter's suit was crafted using layers of silk that were then burnt off in places, partly to give it an aged look, but also to create a sense of his changing mood. Odd socks, mismatched buttons and loose bits of ribbon add to the impression of distractedness, while Atwood imagined that the embroidery on the Mad Hatter's trousers was done to fill in time while he was waiting for Alice to arrive. An audio clip will now play. You are listening to Conrad Bodman, Acme Head of Exhibitions.
I first found out that MoMA was planning a Tim Burton exhibition during a visit to New York in December 2008, and as soon as I heard about it, I was convinced that the show needed to come to Acme. Raj Roy, head of film at MoMA, told me that Tim Burton was in the middle of making a major new film, Alice in Wonderland, which was due to come out just before the opening of the exhibition at MoMA in New York. Whilst timelines were too tight to show much Alice material in New York, it looked possible that we might be able to show more material at Acme, and I was told that Disney had most of the artworks used in the production in their archive in Los Angeles. As soon as the advanced publicity stills and trailers began to be released, I realised that the Alice costumes designed by Oscar-winning costume designer and regular Tim Burton collaborator Colleen Atwood would be very special indeed. I was particularly drawn to the Mad Hatter costume worn by Johnny Depp in the film, and my interest in showing the costume resulted in a very special trip to Los Angeles to the Disney archive. The Alice costumes worn by Australian actress Mia Wasikowska are absolutely stunning. The grey-green dress is worn by Alice before she falls down the rabbit hole, and the red dress is worn in the Red Queen's court. The Mad Hatter's costume, worn by Johnny Depp, is a unique icon of the film and conveys a unique sense of the bizarre. I particularly like the tools that he carries with him, which immediately communicate his trade. The costume is a testimony to the strength of the collaborative relationship Burton has with Colleen Atwood, one of his long-time collaborators, who also produced costumes for Sweeney Todd, Big Fish and Sleepy Hollow.